Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in once again. We always appreciate it. We got quite a bit to talk about today, but as always, I am your man K Marvel,
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy QS.
It's your boy Stretch, the human encyclopedia himself.
Very nice. And it's me, Striker Dragoon, the commish.
and as always, we are the Four Corners of Commentary. Hey, good smooth one. That one was nice and smooth. I appreciate y'all for that one. That was good. So first and foremost, I want to say happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays and all of that goodness. Enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family, by yourself. If you're working, make that money. It is what it is, but enjoy your Thanksgiving, guys. So we got a couple things to talk about today. First and foremost, I want to talk. We're going to do it by day, which is something a little different that we don't normally do. So on Saturday night, Striker Dragoon and myself showed up to Legends Bar to go to the Jabba Talk panel, which was hosted by the Jabbateers podcast. You can also follow them on Twitter, on IG, and follow their podcast on YouTube and support everybody on the Jabbateers network. We appreciate y'all for inviting us and just having us mingle and everything. Also, shout out to those wrestling girls as it was a collab. You can also follow them. Same thing, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Everything is right below Sir Striker and Mr. Storm. And I'm not talking about James. But it was very interesting. They had a lot of great people on the panel. Excuse me. There was a lot of we got to talk and interact with a lot of people. It was a very well played. It was well set up, and we had a really good time.
A lot of
So
we got
good. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. Uh, um, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. So once again, thank you guys. As always, we love y'all. We support y'all like y'all support us. So we appreciate it. Now, the what's up, Court? Happy Thanksgiving. Uh, so the topic at hand. Sunday was Survivor Series. I don't have my setup, so I can't do the echo or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But very interesting night. First and
Say the least.
foremost, nope, that way. Shout out to that man right there.
Yes.
Shout out to that dude, the dude with
course.
the blue brim, right there.
Wait.
Shout out.
Oh,
No, you're nope, the other way.
oh.
The other way.
There you go.
There you go.
Shout out to that brother right there,
Oh.
QS.
QS, you the man.
If it was not for him, number one, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been inside the Barclays Center. Number two, he got us very amazing seats. We were not quite in the floor, but we were
Maybe
basically
section
right,
above.
right behind that section. So arguably, it's the best it's the best seats I've ever had for a pay-per-view event.
Basically,
Agreed.
basically behind like the hard cam.
Yes.
No, we
behind the
were
hard camera.
literally right next to the hard cam.
Yeah, we were right next to the hard camera.
Literally.
And I mean, some of the most amazing seats that you can see any show, whether it be WWE, AEW, whatever have you. He was able to provide that for us. So thank you very much again from the bottom of our hearts. I know I speak for everybody that does the podcast here. You know, that was a gesture. You did not have to do that for us, but you went out of your way to make sure that we got to see the show. So thank you very much.
And as I did when we were over there, sir, you over there, you We are not
Um,
worthy. We're not
oh
worthy.
man,
Yeah.
that
We are not
you
worthy.
know
Striker,
it
show
always
show
feels,
respect.
Get him
Damn
down,
it.
you
I
fish.
it
can't
always
bow.
feels
I
weird.
have bad knees, but
It feels weird.
There you go.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. That I mean, it feels weird, but I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of like driving me nuts.
I can
I was
imagine.
I was moving like a bat out of hell at that
Yes,
day because I didn't
being that
know.
being
Dude,
that
you were
close to Roman Reigns would
everywhere.
drive the average fan nuts too.
Yeah,
Continue.
like
Uh,
I didn't know. I didn't
just
know.
no.
I didn't know. Oh God, here it goes.
yeah.
Continue. Carry on. Continue.
But I just didn't. I didn't know that. Like I really didn't know like how it was gonna work out for you guys. Like I didn't know. I like I said that was the first time I was even to like make those connections happen. I didn't. It was like I was just really going off the fly. I was trying to wing it, but it was just. But I was really just happy to see like y'all was all there. Everybody was all y'all was there with my boy. Y'all was all like bunched together. Y'all got and from the looks like y'all really did. Y'all was able to see everything. It
Yep.
wasn't like it was in our bad seats. Y'all was like right there in the midst. I saw y'all felt the energy. Y'all was enjoying yourselves. So it put a smile on my face for the whole night. I was just like, all right, they did.
That's
It
good.
was good. They having fun. So
Yeah, man.
that's all that matters. When they had fun, I had to work. I worked the event. I still got to
Work
see everything. So I was still
Right.
able to enjoy
work,
myself.
work can be
Yep.
fun in that environment.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Sometimes it's fun.
We get
Sometimes.
there.
Yeah.
We get there. Also, real quick before we get into anything involving the actual show, I want to shout out our boy Jesse. He's been a day one fan of the podcast. Brother, we appreciate you so much, dude. So
Shout
much,
outs to you,
honestly.
Yes,
Jesse.
thank you very much.
Now,
Just
Honestly.
following.
now that's the ones. That's the ones.
Yeah, I'll throw it up for Jess. I'll
That's the
throw it up
Yeah,
for
ones.
Jess.
I do it for Jesse too.
I'll
Like
throw it
that's
up for
the
Jess.
he always shows support. He always be there tuning in. He always, and it was that's how I was happy out even when I told him like yo my boys is the four corners is coming. I was like yo just look out. I told him at first I said look out for Stretch. He's mad tall, can't
Mad
miss.
talk.
Just look out for him. Like
He,
that's as easy as I
but
could do.
Hard,
Just
hard
tall
not
and
to.
but he
dark.
noticed me before, which is funny.
Yes, of
He,
course.
he
Throw that in, you narcissist.
he
Anyway,
noticed everybody. Like
but he noticed me.
he just wants the
He
spotlight
noticed
on.
me. He looked at
You
me.
know what. Here.
No,
You
I
want the
kid.
spotlight? There you go,
No, I
man.
kid.
There
I
you
kid. There's
go.
a reason. I
There
kid
you go.
completely.
I,
There's a
no
reason why
halo
he wears
effect.
that
All
hat,
right, that's
No
it.
ladies
That's
and
it. That's
gentlemen.
all
no
you get.
king's
That's
crown.
enough. That's enough. No,
I
you don't
kid,
deserve
ladies
it.
and gentlemen. There's a reason why he wears that hat. So so people on the show. No, I'm dead serious. We talked about this very briefly before we got seated. He wears a hat so it's a familiar thing for people to perhaps latch on to. So
It's very
it's good
true.
on his part. I wore this red hoodie because I'm a narcissist, so I can get noticed. Shout out
The whole,
to
Not
Bob
wrong.
Lashley, same color
uh,
red.
That's
true,
right.
true,
Yes,
That's right.
true.
and the praise is legit. It's on Twitter. It's definitely on
Absolutely.
Oh
Twitter.
We're
Should
not,
man,
be on
we're
IG
not
very
kidding
look,
about
shortly.
that. I'm not kidding about
when I tell you, we had a absolute blast. I mean, just not only just the seating of not only just the placement of the seating, but it literally felt like you was watching TV, like you was watching it on TV because of the way that you was looking at the ring. So
that.
Yeah.
even that in itself was like so special.
Right.
Um, uh, so yeah, so let's stop messing around and let's jump into it. Survivor Series 2021 in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Uh, once again, all four of the council, excuse me, of the corners were there. And let's jump into some of the matches. I remember, so the pre-show was the United States champion Damian Priest, who's representing Monday Night Raw, excuse me, versus Shinsuke Nakamura, who is the Intercontinental champion, who is representing SmackDown. Gentlemen, your thoughts on the match?
Solid match.
Should have
Solid
been on the
match.
card.
It
Perfectly
was
acceptable wrestling.
yeah, it was pretty good. I think it was dope to see Rick Boogs over here like constantly trying to distract Damian Priest like every time. It's just like trying to make sure that Shinsuke would actually not lose. It was a nice hard hitting bout for me. Nice back and forth. Just when you thought, I thought it was interesting when you thought that Shinsuke was probably going to pass out, like he was getting
Mm-hmm.
passed out from I guess like his Damien Priest version of a Hell's Gate.
It was Hell's Gate. It was I've made mention to the boys that is in mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
That is a Gogo Plata,
yeah, Gogo
Yes.
Plata. Like
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu choke.
he
Yeah.
literally was he was about to fall out. But of course, you know, Rick Boots came in.
With the
Stopped,
guitar.
stopped it completely. Well,
Guitar of life.
played the guitar to like distract him, and it got to the point Damian Priest just had enough.
Or
Went
did he?
broke.
Excuse me.
When he came outside, took that guitar, broke it,
Broke the axe.
broke the axe, and then knocked out. And he knocked Rick Boogs out with it. And then
Mm.
Shinsuke came in from behind, trying to attack him from behind. Damian Priest like came and knocked him out too. It was like you. At first, you thought like is this a heel turn, but it was like nah. I just think
That's
Damian
what I
Priest
was
just
thinking.
snapped. He was just
Right.
frustrated. Like yo, enough is enough. He's tired of it. And
Right.
SmackDown had gotten that win by DQ. They got that win,
Yep.
but Damian Priest was tired of it, and I was just like, "Yo, I
Don't
understand."
blame him. Yep.
Can't blame
Very
him. It's like,
rare.
It warned
Very
him.
rare. Oh,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
let's say very rare we get like a no nonsense type character like that. Like, I mean, not in the sense that it's a tweener, but we don't really know whether he's
Mm.
gonna flip flop. But in the sense that the distraction, he just automatically went out there, did what he had to do. Doesn't care about the finish of the match as long as he's doing, as long as he's damaging somebody. But I would say, it's an interesting character turn for him.
Yeah, very much so. Stretch, you wanna go?
I think the character is interesting. I think it was a little bit too cartoonish in some respects.
The
Um,
hulking up.
that he has like the kind of like Incredible Hulk like transformation face on when he
Yep.
does do it. I'd like to see them dial back on it a little bit more, but the same token, I think it's a good character progression for him. Only because he we kind of like got this rock star like vibe from him, and I think that's a good part to have. But I think that this will get him a little bit more time to work on facials and stuff like that. That's very important, obviously, in the WWE. So I like where it's going. I just hope they don't make it too cartoonish. Like keep him serious. That's what
Yeah.
I'm hoping for. If they would turn him heel, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's warrants a heel turn.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's coming. But I think either way, even if he does keep that anger or that dark side aspect of it,
Hmm.
which they're like, you know, basically telling you mainly from the beginning of his entrance. Um, I mean, honestly, his name kind of says it all. Also, that heaven hell type thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was a great match. It really was. Survivor Series started, and I can't remember what the first match was, but let's just bounce around. Um,
The first
First
match
match was
was
Charlotte and Becky.
Charlotte
yes, you are
versus
right. You are
Becky
right.
Lynch.
You are correct.
Oh, you were getting reseated.
Yeah, let's not get into that. Um, but I did watch it back, and it was one hell of a match. As Becky said after the match was done on an interview that I seen, they were really hitting each other hard. She said she wanted to maim her. She said she wanted to hurt her. They were really going at it like it wasn't just a normal wrestling match. Um, but it was good. It was phenomenal. Each woman doing the other woman's submission finisher. Um, the spots were great. Um, but it was hard. It was a tough match to. It was a great match to start with. I'll say it like that. Um, Becky Lynch definitely did pick up the win. Also, excuse me, I didn't even explain this right. Charlotte Flair is the SmackDown Women's Champion, and Becky Lynch is the Raw the Raw women. But yeah, it's one hell of a match. One hell of a match that was.
I
That was
think
a fun
it's
match.
probably was to me it was probably the best match to start it off. Um,
Okay.
I still felt the wrong woman won.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
You would
felt
have
that
had Charlotte win, huh?
That's
I
interesting.
wanted I wanted Charlotte to win because this match really solidified to me that she is the best one out of the four horsewomen. I guess in terms of charisma, in terms of just selling, you're selling the match. She's the best, and it's undeniable. She it made it look. This made it almost look like, I guess, between I felt like between Becky and Charlotte, this was to me their best match to date.
Absolutely.
Felt like it was their best match. It was almost damn near perfect. Um, they kept everybody on the edge of their seats. You really just didn't know. Like, you really could tell, like, these two, like, as just storyline purposes, they legit hated each other, and it's just like you just really didn't know who you wanted to see win. I mean, there's a lot of I know I was rooting for Charlotte. I wanted Charlotte to take this W. I just wanted it. Just felt like it would make more sense to see Charlotte win. Um, but again, I guess, Becky is still technically a heel, and she's showing that she's just as crafty. Storyline wise, you beat Flair at her own game, which is okay, I guess.
I mean,
It's
to
a heel versus heel match, so either which way.
well that and
Either which
also
way,
Very weird.
it was gonna be a win. It was it
I
was
mean
it was yeah,
that and let's call it what it is. This isn't your normal storyline type match. This is real life involved in a wrestling ring. Like,
very much
these
so.
two women were truly the friends. Like, you couldn't see one without the other, and now, even through, yes, like, the speculations and the rumors and all the talks, like, are real. They really do have like a legit beef now. It happens, sadly, um but when it
People grow apart.
comes to wrestling, they did their thing. It was awesome.
Absolutely,
It was
they did
awesome.
the damn thing. I just like I said, I just felt that was the only thing I just had a problem with was just I just felt like the wrong woman won. That was it. I just felt like the wrong woman won. Like, and you just seeing them like using their moves on each other, like Becky, you hitting Charlotte with the figure four,
Mm.
Charlotte hitting Becky with the disarmer. It was just like, okay, you know, Charlotte getting hit with Becky's version of a rock bottom and still putting her foot on the ropes. It was just like, yo,
Manhandle
this is
slam. Yep.
yeah, but it's just the manhandle slam. It's just this
I
is
mean,
just
even
so
she calls it a rock bottom occasionally, so like it is what it is.
Uh, I'm just glad that they're both able to move on from this feud.
Yeah.
Meaning that
Uh,
I think especially in the women's division, they need a well deserved reset as
Mhm.
far as the singles division is concerned.
Yep.
It's one thing for them, and this to me was the storyline that got the most build.
yes.
Whether
Yep.
it be from
Well,
WWE's creative force,
No, I
outside of the ring speculation and stuff.
yeah.
okay.
I think that primarily what needs to happen is they do need to move on and focus on the challenges on their brand. Seems to be what they're doing. So
Very much
yes.
so.
Yep.
I'll also say this, at least when it comes to uh Survivor Series this year, there wasn't much, which was a lot of people's gripe. There wasn't a lot of build for the pay-per-view as a whole. I feel like Crown Jewel really messed that up, to be completely
Yeah,
honest with you.
yeah, it was Crown
Um
Jewel.
It's not an excuse though.
I mean,
They could have built some stuff up, even if
listen,
it's just a small
look,
appearance or a
eh,
small
but
promo
but
It's
here
a
and
small
there.
but the
window.
thing, right, but
You
the
gotta
thing
remember that was
here,
a small. It was a very small window.
yeah, very small. Um,
Like,
I mean, between that and the main event, which we will jump into, these are both years in the
yeah,
making. Like, let's call it what it is. Um, so yeah, so that was one wonderful match. Like I said, we're probably gonna bounce around a bit because I don't technically remember the order. So let's go to
I
the.
have the match
Oh,
card.
do you? Okay, sorry.
Men's
Yes.
Survivor Series match was next, I
Do
think.
I have the match card right here? Why? Because I'm prepared. Damn it.
Mm.
No, I kid. So that was it. That was our opening match. The next match was personally the match that I wanted to see the most, which was the men's Team Raw versus Team SmackDown match. So on Team Raw, you had the team of Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, young Austin Theory, which I thought was interesting, believe it or not, and the almighty Bobby Lashley, Team Raw, going up against Team SmackDown, which was Jeff Hardy, Happy Corbin, which I say with complete disdain, Sheamus, King Woods, and of course, Drew McIntyre.
So first and foremost, all hail King Woods. Must say it every episode.
Yeah.
Secondly, don't be disrespectful, Q. You two strikes. Y'all are so rude. Anyways,
all I was gonna say is I was gonna give you guys a shout out because y'all made me proud when the Almighty Lashley came out, and I saw a stretch in front and center, like literally like cheering.
I'm sure he did too.
And I definitely clapped. I was so happy. I was just like,
I'm not even gonna lie. All three of us were going nuts for that match during that match. Honestly, we were nuts pretty much the whole show. Let's just call it what
we
it
had
was.
a blast. Listen, we had a blast. I see people on the internet arguing about the freaking show. I had a freaking blast. I can care less what quality of the show. I'm just happy to see wrestling at that close. Care less what it is. Like people are like, "Oh,
I was so happy," but I was so happy. I was so happy for everybody to see like Lashley in there. I was like, "Yeah, Lashley's here." Overall, I think that Survivor Series match for the men's wasn't bad.
No, not at all.
Solid match.
Not at all.
Yeah. It was a solid match. I think. I like
kind of expected KO to do what he did. Expected that.
Yeah, the Bad News Brown callback of just leaving the team.
Honestly, I didn't think he was gonna walk out. I thought he would have screwed. Well, I would say it like this: I didn't think that was going to be the very first thing that happened. I thought maybe he would have like stunned somebody and then left, or you know what I mean. But nah, he just walked out. Crazy.
I think that if I can say this really quickly, I think that his heel turn is way beyond due. Number one, I think it was about time he turned heel. Number two, I think that reverting him back to the heel that he was when he was in NXT, which is kind of like this vicious heel, but kind of picks his own shots.
Yeah,
I think this is a smart move for them to do with him. I think that his character has kind of needed a little bit of a reset since turning face, and I think he's way better as a heel. But put that comment up there. That
which one?
Your lovely his bright red sweater. Put bright red sweater. Put that up there for a second, please.
Anyway,
you're damn right the sweater's bright. You know why?
Tall. It was tall and bright. That's what it was. It's supposed to be tall and his bright ass sweater.
There you go. You're damn right I'm tall in this bright ass sweater. You know why? Because I wanted my almighty to notice me. That's why for Team Raw. That's what I wanted to notice. I wanted to know that I was not worthy to see the almighty Bobby Lashley.
It's all right. You just look like a giant stop sign. Shit happens. So,
this man. Anyway.
Don't let her hear you. She'll kill you. So,
do I think KO is at the door? I don't believe so. I don't really think that KO is out the door. I think KO is just doing what that everybody thought before, that he thought that Shinsuke was out the door, and then he had to like debunk that clearly. I think KO is just trolling everybody. I think him and this heel turn. He's having a good time. He's in a title picture. Basically, you could tell it's alluding to that. He's about to be in the title picture. He's feuded, not only, even though he is doing this whole thing with Team Raw at the time, he's also feuding with Big E. This is a nice trajectory. You take an opportunity. You're putting yourself in the spot. I don't think it would be, even though he'll do good in any other promotion. I think where he's at right now, especially for Raw, they need him. They need him here.
Absolutely.
And I think he enjoys what he's doing. He enjoys what he's doing over there. But I think he also enjoys trolling us even more about the whole Mount
for sure. I think KO. I don't know if he's out or not. Let's be honest. And I mean, of course, you know, as I say all the time, when we're talking about talent, it's always speculation and rumor until we know. Obviously, not the four of us are not any type of insiders, so just take our words with a grain of salt. These are all just our ideas and thoughts. I do think KO. I think the way KO turned heel was interesting. Basically, the Rockish, where look, y'all just want to sit here and believe them without, I've tried my damnness to rectify the things that I have done in the past, and you guys don't want to trust me or believe me. Well, I'm gonna play into it. It's funny. I've been having this conversation in the last couple of weeks due to life, but it's like when somebody tells you that you're not something, when somebody tells you you are something and you tell them you're not, but you constantly tell them that you are, you tend to
Right.
feed into it, and you're like, well, if you think I am this way, then I'm going to be this way. And now we have this KO who no longer gives a shit.
His best him.
Yes. Well, I don't know that PWG can y'all know. Anyways, yeah. But that match was real good. Seth Rollins was the sole survivor. There was a
Oh no. Let's also not forget, because you seem to be glossing over this fact.
Oh no. I was
Who's
gonna go back.
the one that took the almighty spear? Who's the one that
Balor?
who
No.
passed out to that hurt lock? Who passed out?
Mm. Mm.
Oh, my
Mhm.
man Woods?
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
Woods
just want to point out.
Woods got caught up.
I just want to point out on the
All
Wikipedia
hail King
page,
Woods.
just so Kyle knows that it says that King Woods lost by technical submission, meaning that he did not verbally submit, but we all
He
knew he
passed
wasn't
out.
going to last worth a
No,
damn in the
nah.
hurt lock anyway.
Not even a
Nope.
king could last in the
Nope.
ring with the almighty. The almighty.
Like I told him, what is
Listen,
a king to a god?
to a God. He definitely did. He definitely did say that.
He did.
Because he definitely looked
He
at
did.
me and told me
To a
that. And I
god.
just had to be like,
It's just
I was literally like,
Speechless. Stop. Couldn't
yeah,
say nothing.
there was
No
nothing to
rebuttal.
say. But all in all 10 men, well, all
they
9
did
men,
their thing.
they did their thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they did.
There was a ton of great spots with Rollins and Balor. Jeff and Sheamus being the last two was such an interesting dynamic. Considering their history. Austin Theory did his damn thing. You cannot
Yeah,
take
we'll get into
anything
that.
away.
We'll get into
You
that
cannot.
again
I
Yeah.
was going to mention
a bit later.
and I think that with and far be it for me to get a little bit ahead of myself, I was going to say about the women's SmackDown match. I think they did a good job of putting newer faces in prominent
Yes.
position.
Absolutely.
And we haven't been able to say that about the WWE for a long time. So
That's
Very long time.
thank God for little victories like that. I
Yeah.
think with the talent, you talk about the people they release, whatever have you. I think they have a clear vision for the type of talent that they want to push, and I think they are kind of backing these talents. So
I think it's good. Like it may be a step in the right direction if you're over here,
I do.
giving Austin Theory this much of a rub. It's like, okay, this is good. This is good because he did last
look,
long. He lasted. You would have thought he would get eliminated first, and he's just like, no, he did his
yeah,
thing.
I mean, I was gonna say Austin Theory, former Evolve world champion, I might add. He for a 24-year-old, he very much reminds me of a young Randall Keith Orton.
Really,
That's interesting.
As it
that was a compliment.
Okay.
as in when it comes to he can, and mind you, this is from watching his stuff in NXT and watching his stuff. He's just one of those wrestlers that can work with everybody and not
Right.
only make himself look good, but make the talent he's going against look good. And for a 24-year-old, it's saying a lot. And like I said, he very much reminds me of how Orton was. He
Yep.
could work with anybody, and he at the time looked like he had that promising career, to which he does. Look at him now, um so so yeah, once again, shout out, kudos to all the participants in the men's Survivor Series match. Once again, Seth Rollins was the sole
The sole
survivor.
survivor. Yes, he was.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Your Stretch, what was the next match?
Next match on the card was the
Tag team.
Interpromotional Battle Royal.
Oh, I fell asleep during this match. I'm sorry. No, no, I'm lying. I didn't fall asleep. I went and took my break. I took my break at this match.
Wait, can I mention? Let me mention a little something real quick about this man, QS. The entire show, he was the chosen one. The beam was shining down
The beam was
It was
shining
like
down on me.
like
heaven,
a white light, just
heaven.
like literally, no bullshit. He was next to the
I
stage. It was
swear to
like a
God,
white light, just like shining
Just
directly on top of him.
I literally have the picture to show.
yeah.
Literally. So
Wow.
if you guys have my Instagram, Mr. Marvel 87, I will post it right after we are finished with
Yes,
this episode.
yes,
Yeah, like
Um,
I'm
right
right
on
but
right
top of
there.
him.
but I will say, whoever is the higher power of the universe and the atoms to which we exist, they knew what he did for us. They knew.
Yes,
And then
indeed.
there was a little gleam, like I was like, oh man, like the Flash is crazy. So, but all in all, you know what? There was a lot of interesting moments. Omos took Omos was the winner. Um, for a second, it looked like Ricochet was gonna. For a quick
No,
second, quick, very quick. No, 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 no,
no.
extremely quick. Like a millisecond. He looked like he was gonna
Like a
take him out.
millisecond.
Um, but it wasn't that bad of a match either. But it was a filler, as we all
Though I
know.
could have
It
won.
was
I
to
could have got some
celebrate
pizza, man.
your word. I was about to say it was to celebrate, quote unquote, the Rock's 25th anniversary. Shout out to the great one, the most electrifying man of all entertainment, the people's champion, and in my eyes, he is the GOAT. But once again, that is another conversation for another day. Actually, if you would like, go to season 1 and check out some of our early episodes. You can find out our favorite
You can.
wrestlers and why. Thank you. But yeah, not bad, not bad. AJ did a lot of flying around. A lot of people did a lot of flying around. Let's call it what it is. But there was a lot of good spots, so we don't need to fully get into that. Stretch.
Designed for almost to look good. I will say this. Um, I thought that keeping Ricochet, I think is out of all the talent that SmackDown has, I think he's one of the more underutilized guys. So I will be happy that he made it to the Final Four. I knew he
Absolutely.
was getting thrown out once it almost started eliminating everybody in the freaking match. He had 10 eliminations, so I read. But I enjoy battle royals because there's so much meticulous planning with them. Number one, and you
Mm.
really can see who the company, or in some cases, who the company would be behind in the respect of who lasts where and what type of eliminations they do and
Yeah,
what type of
absolutely.
spots they do. I
Mhm.
think it's a good sign. You notice who was at the end. The end were the Street Profits, Almost, and Ricochet.
Almost.
So
Yep.
there were. I think those are
Actually, wait,
talents
we
that.
forgot one more. There was four.
Oh, Cesaro. Cesaro
Cesaro.
was he was the
Cesaro.
Oh
other.
yeah.
Cesaro was particularly Montez Ford of the Street Profits that was left
Yes.
uh, in the ring. But I think those are all talents that they do have a vision for, and do have their eyes on putting in some type of a prominent position. So I'm a huge Ricochet has grown on me. He really has. I will admit that I just saw a guy that I thought was just flying around the ring and not much rhyme or reason. But I enjoy his work. I really do. I hope they give him some type of a prominent position or something.
Well,
So
let's leave it at this. Cesaro, I still think Cesaro is probably the most underutilized wrestler, maybe in the history of the company.
that's bullshit.
Um, I know, but do you not agree that he should be world champion at some point in his career? In
I will
while in
say this. I think that they've could have. I think that they've dropped the
Ball.
Ball with him a couple of times. In
Yes.
particular, the time they paired him up with Paul Heyman.
Yes,
I think that
Yeah.
could have
absolutely.
been a lot better than what it was. But
Yeah.
I
Him
will
versus Brock could
I
have
will
been
agree with you
something
there.
crazy.
I think he's incredibly underutilized. Like that's one of the episodes we have planned coming up, so we'll be talking about that stuff a little later on.
Yes,
in the
sir.
year. So it'll be
Stretch,
interesting to
next
see
match.
everyone's take.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
No, that was it. Next match was RK Bro versus the Usos, the interpromotional match between the tag team champions.
The
Oh,
right team
man.
won. The right team won.
I didn't expect them to win. I swear to God,
I didn't either. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie.
I
I
didn't
thought
get a picture of the pose. I'm sad.
thought they were gonna take it. Not gonna lie.
Nah, I didn't really think that the bloodline was going to.
I didn't think they were win straight through.
They were gonna win straight through. I didn't think the bloodline was even gonna take this tag team match. It's just like it was a hard hitting match. But I think a lot of
A
people
ton of
don't
great
like
spots.
to. I think a lot of people don't like to give the credit to like RK Bro. Like these two literally like Randy and Riddle really like complement each other very
like a
well.
good team.
It's
They
like,
Yeah,
really do.
extremely well.
like Randy, you can always everybody always likes look at Randy Orton as like he's almost like the perfect wrestler because his like his
Yes.
moveset is damn near almost impeccable. It's perfect.
Yes.
And then whereas
He
you
fills
got
in the gaps for everybody he's with, regardless.
literally does but then whereas you look at Riddle, he's like he can be technical. He can be a technical wrestler, or he can also
He
like
could be a strong man. He could
I
strong
think
He
be
man.
could be a
technical.
brawler. He does.
Yeah, like
he's
they
literally has it
literally
all.
work in tandem. It
I
works.
has
think
it all.
I think Randy Orton is the quintessential example that wrestling is not all about the moves that are done in the ring.
Yes.
He wastes little to no motion in everything that he does. And it's like, I talked to other wrestling fans and they were like, oh, this guy really can work this, that, and the third. I'm like, anybody can do moves.
Yeah.
Anybody could be
Yeah.
trained as a wrestler and do a bunch of moves.
That's
If
a
you
fact.
don't make me
Psychology.
feel something, right. If you don't make me feel something
Psychology.
behind those moves, it's like, or at least make me believe that you can kill the other guy or whatever have
Right.
you.
Right.
And you're losing out on stuff. And I think Randy Orton is a perfect example of no wasted motion. Everything
Like,
he does means something in some
Yeah.
way.
not
shape,
even that. It just looks fluid. It's fluid.
Right.
With
He's
it.
Everything's
smooth.
fluid.
He's as smooth as
It's like a
uh,
wave.
yeah. He's incredibly smooth in everything that he does. You will be hard pressed to find as consistent a wrestler than Randy Orton. Like I honestly can watch Randy Orton work all day, and people
Yeah,
complain
like
about the
whether he's
pacing and stuff like that.
whether he's a face or a heel, like you can just watch him work, and it's just like
Right. He
damn,
does
they're
not
perfect.
need to do 30,000 versions of a suplex in order to keep me interested in watching
Yes.
a match.
That was a fact.
I think there's an art to that. Like, I think people get so caught up in the moves that wrestlers do now that they really forget that, like, for guys, number one, it's a job. And I think he's the best at his job because he's been able to preserve himself so long because
These
he
many
doesn't fall
years,
these
yeah.
crazy moves,
Right.
know? And he makes his opponents look good, and he makes himself look good in the process.
But let's not even
somebody
forget.
that somebody should watch over and over again if you're ever studying to be a wrestler. Like the
Yes.
college professor
Yes.
of wrestlers is Randy Orton, hands
Yeah.
down.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But let's not, let's give credit to where credit is due. The Usos might be one of the best tag teams in the
I
history
agree.
of wrestling.
agreed.
They as just as much as RK Bro complement each other and have done some amazing things this year. The Usos, regardless of storyline, regardless if you like the bloodline or not, the Usos remain one of the top tag teams in the industry. And Sunday night definitely showed it once again. It doesn't always have to be the Usos in a New Day to put on some amazing matches because the
Mhm.
Usos consistently put on good
That's it.
matches with everybody they work with, whether it's singles or tag.
Mhm.
So let's give credit to where credit is due to the SmackDown
That
Tag Team Champions.
that
Um,
Uso splash getting hit into an RKO though, beautiful,
oh, so amazing!
beautiful.
What?
And I knew it.
And
And
still
that's
hit
another
it.
thing I give with Randy. All it takes is one.
Yup.
That's all it takes. Y'all was doing that whole
Very,
we the ones. Yeah, they the
very,
ones. All
very
right. It all took
right.
one
Very,
RKO
There's
to end it.
very rarely
One.
does he
patent on
do
that.
more than one RKO
Hmm.
to end a match. And it was funny. The gentleman that was in front of us
Called it.
specifically called that exact spot.
Called it.
And it was clean. It was clean. And Riddle took the brunt of that splash so that Randy can pick up the win.
Yeah.
That was really a good match that they put on, as
Very
expected, to be honest. Stretch. Next match.
Next match was the women's version of the interpromotional Survivor Series match: Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Team Raw, of course, featuring one half of the women's tag team champions Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, Queen Zelina, and of course everybody's favorite EST Bianca Belair versus Team SmackDown, which is captained by Sasha Banks, the Queen of Spades Shayna Baszler, Natalya, Shotzi, and of course Toni Storm.
Now, I'm going to say this because everybody was always telling me, on paper, yes, Team SmackDown is stacked as hell.
Super stacked.
That's why I had winning.
They almost looked
more weight than one, sir.
I called this on Backstage Brawl when they had their like live before Survivor Series. I called it on them. Shout out to Backstage Brawl. Shout out to you guys. I called it on them. And I said that Team Raw was going to win because Team SmackDown has too much collusion on that team. It's too much chaos going on there.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it happened. I was right. If it wasn't, it all just came from Shotzi and Sasha. Like
Sasha was the chaotic piece of the whole
there
thing.
literally was so much ego going on Team SmackDown. It's like, yo, you have Shayna Baszler, you have Natty, you have of course you have Sasha, you have Shotzi. And then Shotzi's trying to make a name for herself. Like,
and
she
tried. Tony is trying to prove to Vince that she is worth it because that's what it feels like personally.
Yeah, and it's just like just like, oh boy, I'm just like, here it goes. Yep. It was like every time, and mind you, it was you would have thought, yeah, SmackDown should have won because not gonna lie, like just they would get Team Raw was getting picked off just like flies, just off and off.
I thought that again, number one, excellent job of getting new faces out there.
Yes.
Solid match. I will say this. The fans doing the wave during the match, I thought was
I was gonna speak on that too.
Oh
yeah.
We'll get into that later.
Okay.
No. You know what? Let's just get it over with. But let's keep it short because of our future topic on fans. And we will go into real depth about how
I personally felt like that the wave because I watched him. I was working watching that, and I had to roll my eyes because I was just like, this is so disrespectful. Y'all did this but as soon as Sasha and Bianca came into the ring, everything ceased.
Right.
And I was just like, granted, yes, you give respect where it's due.
Stars,
but let's not disrespect all the other stars that are in the match.
Right.
It's like,
trying to build their names or get out there. Yes, disrespectful.
Damn building their names. I'm sorry.
It wasn't even just the wave.
It was everything.
CM Punk,
they quickly snuffed out.
Yes, let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Number one, these people, not just the women, these people are busting their ass and risking their livelihoods because wrestling is not, as JR would say all the time, this is not ballet. And even in ballet, you are still risking yourself. Wrestling, these people are risking their lives, risking their health, risking the fact that they could be paralyzed at any given damn moment. And y'all want to sit out there and be disrespectful and wave and chant all of this bullshit? Cut that out. Show some respect on these people. Show some respect to these people that you would never go in the ring and do the things that they do.
Like, I don't fucking
Especially the women. Especially
the women. Like, come on now. You just came from a women's revolution, came from all of that.
Just the logic behind it, to me, is you can't complain when WWE gives them 2-minute
matches
on television.
Queen's Crown.
You complain every other week about them not getting 2-3-minute matches, but then you have the fucking audacity when you finally see them getting the time and getting the matches to actually put on a show for you. You have the audacity to sit here and do a wave,
and they're doing a wave, and they're not paying attention to them.
You're not paying attention,
shout outs to Byron Saxton, but come on, you're gonna chant Byron Saxton while these women are over here busting their asses? Come on, dude.
It's like I'm not knocking the fans for chanting or whatever. Fans have the right to chant whatever they want, But to
True.
me, it's just like
Time
the
and
logic behind
place.
it of you say the WWE needs to take their women's division more seriously. I think fans are a big part of that.
Right.
Like it's
Yep.
like, oh, you complain when they don't listen to us and stuff like that. It's like you guys are doing the wave. How interested are you? Like,
Yep.
to me, it's like virtue signaling. It was like, oh, they only gave him a 3-minute match. Well, if you're
And-
going to do a freaking wave during a match where they give ample time to, and they're actually letting some of their talent shine, what point is it?
And you know
Right.
what? And I hate to be the person to compare, but I'm going to do it. No, and I mean no other promotion, not AEW, not the now debunked. Who knows what's going to happen to ROH? Not MLW, not even WCW back in the day,
Especially
not
now.
the WWE back in the day, aka WWF, not New Japan, not All Japan, not AAA. I can keep going. Their fans respect their talent. There is no reason. Granted, we are all four of us are New Yorkers. We understand the fact that New York can be a very, very rowdy crowd. Okay, New York has been one of the meccas for wrestling from before you can even say that there was a mecca of wrestling. But you motherfuckers are gonna just sit there and excuse my language, but y'all are just gonna sit there and do this. And it's not like this is new. This is a consistent thing. So like my brother said, if y'all consistently complain, don't complain if you're going to do dumbass shit like this.
Right.
Those women worked.
It worked.
They worked. That match
And
was not bad by any means.
right, it
And
was a
as
very
many
solid
times,
match.
and as many times as walking through the arena, going outside, listening to fans, looking on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the next night on Monday, like y'all want to talk shit about this, but once again, these people are busting their asses, and you could talk shit about them making money all you want. These are these people's lives we're talking about.
Yeah.
We watched Owen Hart fall from a rope and die. We watched Stone Cold Steve Austin get paralyzed or broke his neck, which he could have been paralyzed and not been able to give us what we got from him. Stop it. But like I said, we're going to get into this another time for another day, hopefully by the end of the year. But we'll get into that. Either way, Bianca Belair, there was some amazing spots during that match. Bianca Belair was the sole survivor after eliminating three of the women on the SmackDown team.
Interesting take on the. I turned to Kyle because I know Kyle will get this reference. I said this is the Teamsters versus the bad guys all over again.
Yes,
From '94
absolutely.
Survivor Series. It's like, oh, the team is imploded while they have the advantage. And the only gripe I have with that finish, I'm glad, first off, all the people that Bianca Belair eliminated were some of SmackDown's newer faces.
Yes.
Like Shayna Baszler and Shotzi in particular, who was the last person who eliminated.
Yes, she was.
I particularly enjoyed that.
Which is a
big
push on her end.
Yeah, I think Shotzi has a lot of potential. With that said, I think that the dynamic of them just revolting against the team captain would have worked a lot better if Sasha wasn't a face.
Right.
It's like, okay, like I turned to
no, because they're all heels. So it works.
Sasha's not.
Because I was about to say, like, Sasha's not actually a face.
I'm saying
She's a heel.
Shotzi, Shayna, and Natalya are all heels.
So
No, I know. Sasha, but Sasha's not a heel anymore. Ever since she went and hugged
she's a tweener.
What's her face?
She's a tweener.
When
even when they started the match, she hugged
won,
Bianca. She shook up Bianca's hand.
To me, she's a face. I think her as a face primarily because
there's a lot of
Shotzi's heel turn.
Yeah, there's a lot of heels now on SmackDown.
And also Charlotte.
Yep.
Now she has
right.
a face. Okay,
right.
I get it.
Right. So I think she's a face. But I personally thought that the dynamic would have been better if she was a heel. It would have made a little bit more sense. But I think Strike makes a good point as well that the people who did turn against her all are heels. So that does make sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But again, I think it was a solid match. Nothing really particularly too special, whatever have you. But I thought it was a solid match of, and I think that was a non-deserved match
to do, which was add another accolade to Bianca's repertoire, which she needs.
I mean,
right.
I mean,
those prominent positions. I thought they did a good job.
Yeah, for sure.
They're giving Bianca a New Day run. So
Yeah,
before we got to Kofi with the WWE title, we got the New Day getting every other accolade up until that point.
very much.
So she's gonna get that type of run until we get to her with the Raw or SmackDown Women's title, and then
yeah.
she's gonna get that grand win, and she's gonna have that long run that she well deserves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like
Right.
And hopefully she does it when there's amazing talent. And when I say I'm not taking anything away from the current talent, but I'm saying once they build the newer talent to amazing heights,
Yes.
she's
Yes.
going to have a hell of a lot of people to run through
true.
Absolutely.
when she gets the title belt
Very
back.
true.
Absolutely.
And I honestly need everybody to just look out for when Asuka comes back. That is going to be her biggest feud.
It's going to be one of her
You're
biggest.
saying
feuds, yeah.
Bianca and Asuka?
Bianca and
Yeah.
Asuka is going to be one of her before, even if she doesn't get the title belt from Becky this year, Asuka's going to be one of her roadblocks. Definitely will be one of her roadblocks to title.
Yeah, for sure. Stretch, what's the next match?
Next and last match was the main event of the evening.
Was
The
it? Wow, we
WWE
ran so quick.
champion, Big E. Well, excuse me, he doesn't have.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wait. First off. No. Say the man's last name. He deserves some respect. That is a
does. Let me
strong
say his
last
last
name.
name right now. First
That
name
is a
Big,
strong
last
last
name
name.
E. The
He's 5.
first name Big, last name E. The WWE champion versus the WWE Universal champion, and of course, everyone's tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
That is it.
Can I say something? Hold on, before we even get into the match.
No.
God.
I have a great video I need to share too.
What happened was truly a labor of love and an organized effort between me and Kay Barful to get QS to notice just how many people in our section we got to do this.
And I literally saw it in tandem just watching.
I will be posting that after this too, just so you know.
Like
I
even
saved it
you
just
even
for this episode.
y'all even got
I
Jesse.
said that.
Y'all even got Jesse to do it.
No,
like Jesse's
no,
even doing it too.
sir,
And I'm just over here looking like, oh my
He wasn't
god.
Roman to it.
That was Jesse's idea.
Oh, it was his idea. Oh god, he corrupted.
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm snitching.
Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
Jess.
He
And
corrupted
of
y'all.
course,
I was already on board with it.
oh yeah,
Oh, Lord.
we already
I
knew.
agreed
Stretch and I already
immediately.
knew. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Even the dudes behind us,
because it's crazy because it's like when his entrance came on and like they all saw like my face just turn. I'm like, oh god, here we go. And then it just literally like it's like they're sitting here doing it, just all in unison. They're all just doing it, straight face laughing again, and then Roman's just doing that long obnoxious entrance, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's just getting worse. And I'm looking around the arena, and it's like everyone was doing it, and I'm just like, no, I'm not with this.
Excuse me.
Even to the point that that Stretch was over here like texting me and telling me like, yeah, QS, acknowledge him.
Yep.
You know you want to. I'm just like,
you know you want to.
Never. It'll never happen. It'll be a cold day in hell before I acknowledge this man. Like, never.
Listen, man, it's already cold outside. Anyways,
the thermostat's getting lower there, I'm sure.
and remember where we live. So, with that being said, I will say this. And this was difficult for me, as Stretch and Striker would tell you. I was
going through it.
I was heartbroken. I was Striker when when Suzuki and Danielson was going at it. That was me for this main event.
Oh man.
I was at one point. I was literally Q. You didn't see, but I was literally like this. I was throwing up the one, and I was like, "New Day rocks, New Day rock." I can't do it. I'm a fan of both. But all in all, hell of a main event. Big E, this has, even in defeat, this has elevated Big E to new heights. Him standing up to Roman through those Superman punches, and just that, specifically that one spot where Roman does the yell, and as he looks up, Big E is right there. That is the first time I have ever seen any wrestler do that to Roman Reigns. But it goes to show that Big E is here to stay as WWE champion. He is a major player. And with all due respect to his New Day partner Kofi Kingston, it so far it looks like he's definitely going to have a better run as champion. But that match had so many ups and downs. There was no interference from either side, which made it even better.
Yeah.
And both men put on.
Hell of a show.
I don't even know. They put on a clinic. They put on a clinic.
It was a good. This was a great match between two of probably the most powerful, I guess you would say the strongest and most powerful men in the company.
Two of
Like
them.
you have two, they're both
Yeah,
strong men on each brand.
absolutely.
Like two strong men from each brand, and it was a hard fought. It was basically a hard fought slobber knocker. They they literally was doing as much moves as they can. You know, it's almost like and this is probably you almost looked at it as like, okay, they know each other. They really know each other. They know how to best each other no matter what. It was even to the point where Roman tried to even get Big E in a guillotine,
Yes.
and it still wasn't enough. It just wasn't. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And I was just like, okay, good. This is good. I was like, wow, this is very good. Yeah, it was a very good match. But I wanted, again, I felt that the Raw man won. I really wanted to see Big E just get this victory over the Tribal Chief. But I also understand that this is probably we still have not seen Roman actually take a pinfall loss yet. I don't think like people have like noticed that like Mans has actually been
no pinfall.
It's solid.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's been
No
pretty
pinfall
solid and
since he's been
undefeated for
back.
like a good year. Like just no
No
one's been able to
pin.
beat him, so it's just like
He's
they're
had
gonna just run with it.
He's had no pinfall since he's been back. His first loss since he's been back has been King Woods by DQ.
Yeah, that's DQ. But it's like, are we really gonna
No
count a DQ
contest.
loss as a loss for him? It's like
I mean, you
he
can
hasn't
get
been pinned.
technical because it could lead to a title match, and I think that's where they're going.
The
Honestly,
man just hasn't been pinned. He just hasn't. He can't. They haven't pinned him. No matter what, he's just still coming out on top. But
yeah.
ultimately, you know, they tried to hit him with, you know, he got the win. He got the win with that spear. He got the win with that spear, you know, stepping on from stepping on Big E's knee. So it's just like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
because you see when he fell out the ring. I don't know if y'all paid attention, but if
yeah,
you seen when he fell out the ring, you seen he had issues with his leg
yeah.
when he dropped out the ring.
I think that
So
was just
Solid
a setup
encounter.
story. Yeah, that
I
was
think
just a
it
no,
setup
was-
story.
but that's what I'm saying as to why that worked the way as
Yeah.
well as it did.
They told the story in the ring. Oh, the knee injury sustained during the match led to Big E's downfall. I thought it was a solid,
Big E is not down
solid match. Again, another solid match. Like it wasn't.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it like blew me away like any of the other
Agreed.
any of the
But it
other
was
matches.
solid.
They were very solid wrestling matches. I thought it was
Yeah.
I thought from top to bottom there was no bad wrestling, but there wasn't anything
No.
like, oh my god, like you know.
Yeah, well, it was just
But I'll say this. Hold on. What blew me away wasn't the moves. It was the story.
yeah.
It was the energy,
Mm-hmm.
because the energy was felt throughout the entire arena. Literally, as soon as Big E's music, as not even the music, as soon as the Titantron came up, the energy was there. And like I said earlier, it showed Jesse's in the building.
Shout out
Oh
to
yeah,
you, Jesse.
bro.
Bless up.
You and Q talk.
Yeah, they gave you up. They gave you up, Jesse. They gave you up.
I'm just gonna talk
You was
stretch.
the one you the one that did that whole we the one
Stretch.
unison group thing. That was you, man. I get it.
Of course you get it.
And I'm still not acknowledging that, man.
He
So it
just
is what it
low
is.
key did it just now. You didn't
No,
even
I
need
did
to
it. I
acknowledge
just
him, but
get
he
it.
did it. I get it. I get it. He
He
says,
No,
I get
It's
it.
all right.
No,
That's
no.
all right.
See, here he goes. Here he go. Here he go.
Let's
No,
go.
no.
Let's
No,
go.
absolutely not. We're not doing this.
This
We're not
is
doing this.
wonderful. This is one diva. But like I said, the best thing out of this match was that I like I said, I feel like it elevated Biggie to a new level.
It did.
So, but I will say this: the winner with 2 spears, I might add,
Yeah.
your tribal chief, the head of the
Yes.
table, the
Yes.
WWE
Your
Universal
tribal chief.
Champion.
Yes. Yes. Your
No,
tribal chief.
everyone's tribal chief. Everybody's tribal chief.
He's not the head of the table.
Especially
Not my
yours.
tribal chief.
No.
Listen,
he's not my tribal chief.
look, Stretch once said, that man will come into your house, take a shit, use no air freshener, and walk out, and you're not going to do a damn thing about it.
Nothing you can do about
Won't
it.
even get past my door.
Door.
No. He'll walk through it. He's going to kick it down.
Won't even get past my door.
Door.
You ain't got no bolt lock on there. So,
definitely do, actually.
What that mean to him?
Not a damn ting.
Thank you.
So, but all in all, Survivor Series was not as bad as everybody says it was. At least in my opinion. But once again, I am a person who takes wrestling at face value. So,
Survivor Series, I'll say it was it's a solid card from top to bottom.
It was a solid 7.
I think, yeah.
It was a solid 7.
I mean 7. Yeah, 7 is okay. That's fine. If we want to give it a 7, okay, it's a 7. Because the battle royale for me was they could have did.
It was bad for a Brooklyn showing.
And
they've done better.
I think
it
wasn't
bad because of the fans. That's, anyways. Sorry.
I think that they realized that it was lackluster in comparison to some of the cards that they've had.
But even the dirt sheet said that they acknowledged it was freaking lackluster. They knew that shit.
I know that. I'm just saying, like, in general, for quote unquote a lackluster card, I think all the talents maximized what they did.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I think that it was a night of solid wrestling. I think I thought the energy in the building was pretty palpable. Like it made for an interesting night. I had a fun time watching it. So
for a company that just let go of 80 wrestlers,
Jesus, wrestling fans are spoiled. Like they're just fucking
5-star
matches from top to bottom. Like
for a company that just got rid of 80. Yeah, for a company that just got rid of 80 wrestlers, it was pretty solid to me. I was just like,
sir.
They did what they needed to do.
Good for a little makeshift pay-per-view.
But it's not. And that's so crazy when you say that about a pay-per-view like Survivor Series.
For somebody, that Survivor Series was a makeshift pay-per-view. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like that's insane to me. But we're gonna touch on 3 things. Stryker and I both went to Raw. Stretch was preoccupied, and QS, of course, worked the event. Strike, you want to go first? Or you want to go 1-1? You want me to go first? You and then me. Wow!
I know that's right.
What a beast!
Hilarious.
Oh, he did it for the tribal chief, right? we should get into that, right? Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not tonight.
Let's do this. I just want to start off with congratulating Queen Zelina on her very first WWE title. Her and Carmella.
That is major. That's major.
Congrats.
Who won?
New York native.
Yep. Queens native. Don't be rude. Anyways, for winning her first title, the women's tag titles.
Tri-State got a win last night.
Deserved. Yes.
Not gonna lie, I really didn't think that was gonna happen. I was just like, oh,
nobody did, because me and the guy who I was sitting next to, that was Jesse's boy. We looked away from the match for like a good couple of minutes, and then boom, the pin happened. So we're like, what the hell was going on?
You just didn't think.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Sitting with some friends, I called it. I said, I think they're gonna win. I think this is it. Because my thing is like this. What have they been doing with the champions? Nothing.
Nothing.
Rhea was preoccupied.
Rhea and Nikki, granted, their run is it was deserving at first, but at the same time, it's just like
Love them
they're
as a
not.
tag team.
As a tag team, it's like they haven't really been doing anything. They're just
Right.
it's like comedic relief, but it's just like, well, what are we?
It's the same formula that they've tried with rated R. I have no idea why I keep calling them that. RK
Whoa.
Bro.
Yeah,
The
It just didn't hit.
WWE loves those odd couple hodgepodge tag teams, and it
Mhm.
doesn't always work. Like it's a little bit of an outdated trope. And
yeah,
No, but this was more so they didn't have the build that RK Bro did.
right, that's
RK
what I
Bro
was
had a
getting at.
very long build.
That's what I was getting at.
Mhm.
You can't just throw people together, I think, in some cases and go, well, this is a mixed match tag team. How are they going to function?
and the thing is like they it's not even to say like they didn't like Rhea and Nikki they couldn't work they don't work together as a team they really
No,
do
they were great.
they're
They were
great but
great.
it just was their run was just boring it was just boring I guess it's just say it was boring because it's like all right y'all won
I mean,
now what
you got rid of so many women who were actual tag teams.
Right.
You know, it's you know
Ye-
it's really disappointing to an extent. I mean, and not to jump completely off, or this is quite kind of related. Look at who is now known as the Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics. Go to
Mm-hmm.
Impact and they win the women's tag belts over there. I mean, you know, and yes, they did win in the WWE, but I mean, come on, like what? There are legitimate tag teams who can thrive. Somebody that I would like to see, not necessarily in the WWE, but thrive as a tag team on a bigger stage are the Sea Stars, which we saw at Battle
Oh
Club Pro.
yes.
You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Very good example.
very good example.
so who was on? They were, I believe, they were on Impact,
I think so.
either
NWA
Impact
as well.
or
NWA,
yes,
they've
NWA
been
also.
NWA as
NWA. I
You
well.
know
know, and
that.
they've been shown. But you know, women's tag team
Was it
wrestling
MLW?
is.
No, I think it was MLW.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It was
It was
MLW.
MLW.
You are correct. But women's tag team is a thing, and it is thriving, and it deserves to be
You know what?
recognized.
You know what's funny? It's a bigger deal in NXT than it is the main
Yes.
roster.
Right
Yes.
I think it's a little bit too much of a hodgepodge on the main roster, and I don't mean to say that as if it doesn't have a place, because I think it does, and I think that they should like deserve to have those type of opportunities for women tag team to thrive.
Mhm.
But I think that like, and this is just me talking, and like if NXT solely had a women's tag team division, they would stand out that much more.
Yes.
Like
Absolutely.
I mean, remember where the belts came from originally. Anyway, it
right.
was NXT. So
Wait,
let's
huh?
take something that was doing well. Yeah, those belts were the NXT women's tag belts. Then they changed it to the WWE tag belts, women's tag belts.
Other way around.
No. The WWE
Other way
tag
around.
belts were first because it was Bailey and
yeah
Sasha,
Other way
and then they
around.
Oh,
it was
right,
the
introduced
other way
right, right,
around
NXT.
right. My
it
bad, my
was
bad, my
Because you
bad.
got to remember they were traveling on all three brands.
yeah
Mm-hmm.
that's why they made the tag titles for NXT to just strictly keep them there
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
yeah
Right. But what's your point, Strike?
Um. Oh yes. So I wanted to hold off on the peppering of the fans because Becky Lynch did the damn thing last night. You didn't even need to say anything. She said everything perfectly last night.
The Shane I feel the only gripe that I got with it is you've been building Becky so much as to be a heel, but now this is low key probably just made her a face again.
I don't think so.
I
But
don't think so.
I don't think that changes her to a
I
face if
don't
she's
think so.
speaking truth.
Yeah,
She'll
no,
speak truth all the
kind of
time.
like
And especially with her interactions with Liv, she's not going to be a face because Liv
mm,
is over. You know what I mean?
mm,
People love Liv
it.
Morgan, so I don't
I was
think.
gonna say they love Liv Morgan, but to say Liv is over, I still gotta wait and see
Mm,
that. I wouldn't say she's over,
she's
but
not there yet.
she's light.
She's get fine. Yeah,
Like
no,
she's
you're right.
getting there. She's
She's
not
getting
over.
there.
Yeah,
She's
She's
over with
over
the
light.
vocal minority
Yes.
of internet wrestling fans that were like, "Oh, they should push Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan should do this, that, and the third." I'm like, okay, you know, she's
Because
over with
she's the
those
next
segments of
person
fans.
that
I have
didn't
nothing against
hasn't
Liv
had
Morgan,
exposure, so
and
we just throw her
I
up
think it's.
there.
I want to. I just say that like I have nothing against Liv Morgan, and I think this is well deserved. You know, Liv
yeah,
Morgan busts her ass. She really works hard, and she's
she
worked
does.
hard from
She
where
worked hard to
she
get there.
was to where she is now. You really can see the improvement. So I hope that she knocks it out the park. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Um, and the very last thing was thrusting Austin Theory into the WWE title picture.
That was
Um,
good.
him, him and
That
Big
was a
E
good.
had a
We're
great
not gonna
match
sit here
last
and talk
night.
about that was not a good segment. Shout outs to Vince McMahon, man. Like,
Hey,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Word.
that was
Yeah,
good.
that was a big
Philadelphia.
swerve.
That was very good. Like we all thought that. Man, I was like, oh wow, Sammy actually found the thief. Oh, okay, so I guess Sammy's getting the shot. I thought Sammy was gonna get the shot. She is beautiful.
very beautiful young
Liz is
Yeah,
lady.
she
extremely
is.
beautiful. But everybody was probably thinking like, damn, I'm
Agreed.
over here thinking like, wow, I guess Sammy's got to get this title shot. KO's over here in the mist, still looking for the person that's I guess going to find the egg, so he could just take the opportunity like
That's what we thought was gonna happen
like
last
a
night.
true
But
heel
That's what we
should.
thought was gonna happen.
But ultimately Vince, he heard the reason why. Austin just told the
take
truth.
some balls.
Well,
So
that and he reminded me of a younger me.
I was just like, yeah. And Sammy's like, oh, how can you do this? You know what? You're getting a title shot. Like, how can you do this? This is conspiracy. And then he told him straight up, shut up. I was just like,
Wait,
yeah.
and ended it on that. Like, no, that's it. That's the end of the segment.
No, and I looked at him like, nobody likes a snitch. And I
And
was just,
Sammy
that
had
had me. That had me. I
yeah,
know he did.
right.
I know Vince did that for Brooklyn. I was just
Oh
like, yo,
yeah,
I
oh
love
yeah.
it. I was like, yup, that's a
Mm.
fact.
And
Nobody likes
Sammy
a
actually
snitch.
had a pretty good match with Damian Priest for the U.S. title too.
Yep.
Um,
I was wondering why the hell he was
so
there.
yeah, I mean there were a lot of. I mean, hey, look, everybody was there anyway. So
Him, Natalia, it
um,
was
yeah.
just weird. It's not
But oh,
no continuity.
so before we get into the last parts, I would like to shout out Miss Bianca Belair. I
Yes.
took my daughter to go meet her, and she was a wonderful, lovely person. And honestly, we all really appreciated it. So thank you, Miss Bianca, once again for representing and being a role model to not only young girls of color and not only young girls, but young to people. Period. We really appreciate it, and my daughter still can't stop talking about it. Um, so Courtney brings up a good question. She said, "Do you guys feel like Survivor Series has died? It's not the Survivor Series that I remember back in the day," which is very interesting considering Stretch and I literally has had this conversation quite a number of times actually.
I wouldn't say so. I'd say it's a yes and no. Um,
Mm.
I get, back in the day, Survivor Series it used to just be, the traditional Survivor Series was, the 5-on-5. It was just like, 5-on-5 before it was like 5-on-5 of the best
Right.
against each
Oh,
other, like just 10 people going against each other. But then, as the years progressed, it became a brand split because, of course, the roster was too goddamn big. So then so the Survivor Series really started turning into not only was it like 5-on-5 on the best, it was just started becoming a thing of brand supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Now, the problem with the brand supremacy thing is we did have what made what took the luster away from Survivor Series of brand supremacy is over the years they had another pay per view, bragging rights.
Yes.
Bragging rights was another one was
That
battle for
was supposed to be,
supremacy.
that was
Yes.
supposed
That
to
was
be
a
the
battle
brand
for brand
supremacy.
supremacy, and then for a good minute, bragging rights did exist, but they scrapped that, and it just stayed with Survivor Series. I don't think that even now the Survivor Series trajectory has died, like the essence of it has died. I think it still holds true to the core. It's literally just supposed
Yes.
to be. It's supposed to just be us. I would say like Survivor Series would be WWE's All Star. Supposed to be like WWE's All Star Weekend. It's really shoot. If you want to be with that, you could try to link it to that. It's
That's
WWE's
a
All Star Weekend.
I can
fair
see
It's just
that.
supposed to
assessment.
be.
I
Good
can
It's
for
see
really
that.
just supposed to be a nice solid pay per view of champions versus champions. Brands. 5-on-5 of the best of each, men
Right.
and now women,
Yep.
and we just sit back and just enjoy it for what it is. Like now. sometimes they did, they did it the 1 year with the Essence bringing NXT into it to try to make it look like, give it a little bit of extra flair for brand
And
supremacy.
and
But
this is why I say that's complete bullshit that they can't fix anything in 3 weeks, which they did with that. That's why I say it's bullshit.
no, that wasn't.
Obviously,
That was. I wouldn't say that
The
NXT
crowd,
wasn't
because it was
that.
after Crown Jewel. It was the same Crown Jewel situation. It
But
was
they
the
only did that.
same
But
Crown Jewel
but that's it.
situation.
But you already know that was a technicality. You can't use
But I
don't.
wasn't saying that they need to
No,
involve
no, 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 no.
NXT.
That because the thing is when you know the facts of why that NXT thing even happened, you can't
Of
use that in
course, I
this
know that.
argument. No, you can't. You can't use it in this argument.
I
It does.
can use it though.
It's void. Nah, it's void because
Because no,
in this
no, because
situation,
that has something to do with the country. That has something to
yeah, like
do
that's null and
with
void.
that
Otherwise,
that BS with the government over there.
yeah,
This
if
is
that
something
No,
if
but
that
I'm
completely
plan
saying
different.
in the sense that they can still do something makeshift in 3 weeks. You can
probably
make a
not,
build in 3 weeks.
probably not.
Charlotte and
No,
Becky
I,
didn't need
I
a whole month's worth of
well, that's
story. They
that's
have
I
his
think that's
storyline.
I think that's a little different because they also had the. I get where you're coming from when you
Yeah, I'm
use
just
them
using an
as an
example. I'm not
example.
saying it has to be
No,
that
no,
way,
I get
but
why you're using them as an
right,
example because they had a lot of press, even
yes,
outside of
Right.
storyline,
yeah,
for better or worse, that helped them out in this situation. Like they were doing interviews with Fightful and Sports Illustrated, and they were
Mhm.
everywhere. Those two in particular. But I see what you're saying. I think it's a yes and no. I think it depends on how hot. It's very semantical. Like it depends on how hot a storyline is and the wrestlers going into it. Like you can build an adequate story, I think, in 3 weeks, but it's very hard to do so. I think that this Survivor Series suffered from kind of like that hangover from Crown Jewel because that was a for better or worse, that was a much larger build and they had a
It
lot more
was.
mm,
time to build to it. But at
Yeah.
the same token, I think they can do a lot better.
yeah.
Very
To
true.
answer the question, I think the concept of the Survivor Series still can work in today's era. I think the pay per view as a whole has died down because I think they've gotten away from what made
The
it so
core.
unique, which was the elimination matches. And
right.
me, Marvel were talking about this. If I was booking, I would make it again a pay per view, sans maybe one or two matches, full of elimination matches. And I think that if you go back to that formula, you get way more people on the card. Number one, so
Hmm.
you'll get to
Mm.
showcase a lot of different talent. Number two, you can still have single matches on there, but you better damn well make sure that they are the most important single matches in the company. Like Big E and Roman
Exactly.
Reigns match still could have happened.
Yep.
Um, even if you have I'll put it like that match still happens even if you have a bunch of Survivor Series elimination matches. You take the
Mm.
Battle Royal that they had with that much talent in it, you could make at least what two elimination matches from that,
Yeah.
given the
Yeah.
talent
Right.
that
Absolutely.
was in it.
I
And if you
think
build a little bit of a story to it, I think it could work.
I think they could have. I think it would if it would to like bring the essence of luster back. I get what you're saying. It probably would then be best to just keep. Would you think it would be best to put the actual elimination matches as the main event instead of the singles matches? Like,
Uh,
Depending on the
you know,
matches,
yeah. Can I?
you
Can
don't
I?
want a match with two talents that win too much. That's for sure. Nobody will
Mm.
Right.
watch that.
Let me.
right.
I just want to add on real quick. To that idea. Um, I don't think it's necessarily the main event aspect of it more than it is the core of what these elimination matches were.
They
And
had something. They
Stretch
meant
said it
something.
right. Stretch said it Sunday when we were talking. Um, it was, yo, you and I got beef. I'm gonna get these dudes. You're gonna get those dudes,
Yep.
and we're
Hmm.
gonna scrap. You know what I mean? Like in when it comes to that aspect, that's what they need to bring back. If they're gonna do and I mentioned this too, and I know like you guys gave me looks like, oh God, no. But if they were to do that, bring that aspect of the Survivor Series back, I wouldn't mind them bringing back bragging rights and then doing the brand supremacy. Leave that with bragging rights and bring back Survivor Series. Make it what it was from the jump. Bring it back to its core essence. That's just my idea of that.
But do
don't.
you feel they need weight? Well, Mr.
I
Duff
think
actually mentioned it. What I was going to say, but yeah. Do you feel they need weight to these matches? Do you feel they
no,
have right?
no. I don't think. I think the storylines should give it enough weight. You
Mm,
feel me? So like, ¿qué pasa?
Yeah, pause that. Um, there was no need for you saying that there's nothing up for grabs. I'm gonna respond to that comment, and I'm gonna respond once, and I'm done with it. Um, there's no need for
Go on, I'm done
what
with it.
what do you actually need it to be up for grabs? There's no need for them to be up for grabs. This is like I said,
Brand
Listen,
Survivor
supremacy
Series.
is
I look
is
at I
is
look at
what it is anyway.
I look at
Survivor Series has never been that. Survivor Series has
right,
never
Yes, sir,
been
and
that
Moses.
pay per
I
view.
was going to
That's
I
like
was
the
going to say
belts are on
that
the
too.
line. It's never been that. It's never
Historically,
been that pay per view.
historically speaking, all of the Survivor Series elimination matches have been hodgepodge matches. So it's
Yes,
like to
sir.
say, like, oh, we need something up for grabs or whatever have you. You know the history of the event.
Yeah,
There has been one main feud between the
mm.
captains of the event.
Yes.
I give you
Yep.
that. One main
And
feud
Okay,
between
that's
the
right.
what I was
captains of
saying.
the
Yep.
event, and then they pick a bunch of guys, basically, or gals, or whatever have you,
the
that may
best.
have had like house show feuds or
Yep.
whatever have you.
Or
And
or
it's
or
like,
at least smaller feuds on TV.
Mm.
right, or some
Literally,
type of feuds on TV or
it's
callbacks to feuds or whatever have you.
once
It's a
Right.
once
continuation.
again, it
It's
is as
never
I
really
just
been an event where it's like, oh, look at like these guys are fighting for like this
like
opportunity or
it's
whatever.
never been for,
A
like I
bunch of
said,
guys who
it's
have
never been.
relational, like the old phrase that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It's
At the
Right.
end
always
of the
been that
day,
way.
it's as I just
Right.
said before. It's
So
never been
basically, a
about
showcase of
no, no, no,
talent.
no. As I
Right.
said before, it's never been about a title being up for grabs. It's never been about who's going to get a number
Right.
one contendership. That's never been
Right.
the case of Survivor Series. This is literally, if you want to say it's an all-star weekend, this is their all-star
I
weekend.
agree
It
That's
is.
it.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah. No.
You're
I
just
Agreed,
agree
bro.
literally
wholeheartedly.
you're
Agreed.
just
I say
showing your
that.
top stars, some of your top stars. Everyone's just having a match. It's
I
just a
agree
spectacle.
wholeheartedly.
That's
I,
And
it.
I'll,
and yeah, and
I'll,
sometimes
I'll,
you don't need it
You
doesn't
don't need
even
you don't need
it doesn't
anything
need
other
to
than
be
that.
the top
right.
stars. Your
I'll
top
say
stars can still fight each other. You
I'll
can
say
have
this from this. I'll
Randy
say this from
Orton.
the standpoint
Yeah.
of maybe the brand supremacy thing. That if
Mm.
you want to make it feel bigger, maybe like and Xavier Woods had a good point. Maybe you put a buff for the Royal Rumble for the winning side, maybe.
Yes.
But like
Yes.
historically speaking, let's not pretend that these Survivor Series elimination matches have
Right.
been so like uh so impact driven on
Yeah.
what happens for the
Mhm.
future of like the company and the guys involved. It's
There's
never
and
been
there's
that way.
It's never been that.
there's only and honestly, when you really look at the history of
Really
the
just an
Survivor Series
accolade.
pay-per-view, there from my memory, there's only been two of them. Number one was during the invasion, and number two
Mm-hmm.
was when it was Cena versus the Authority. That was
Right,
it. That
That
right.
was
was it.
it.
At
Those are the
2000,
only
okay,
two.
2003 had Team Bischoff versus
Oh
Team
yeah, yeah,
Austin.
yeah.
Austin
Versus
loses,
Team
he gets
Austin. Very
fired,
Also,
true.
also,
only
also,
for him to
Very
also,
come back in
true.
a month later. But that's a different
Agreed.
story for a
the
Yeah, yeah,
different
debut
day.
of
yeah.
And
also the
that's one
debut of the greatest of all time. That is the Undertaker. Let's not forget that. Thank
right.
you.
Oh, fair. You know, I
I
feel
mean,
like
and also
there,
the other debut of some people who could say is the other goat, the
Yeah,
great one.
yeah,
but
that's true.
but
Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
But even so, like even those matches in particular, like those are
Yeah,
like three examples of an event that's been around for what? This is 30 years plus. Like the
Mhm.
Yes.
Survivor Series has been
pretty
around
much so.
34.
Yes.
Like I think it's 34 years. The first one was in 87. So it's like those are three examples of matches that have held that type of weight for that event that are like Survivor Series elimination match. It's literally been okay.
Yes.
All the guys that are faces are on one side, and all the
Yep.
people that they are feuding with on the other side.
Mhm.
So it's
Yep.
like for to say like, oh, these matches are meaningless. They always have been. Like, so I don't get it to say like, oh, these matches need something. No, they don't. They just need guys that are feuding, and you just
Yeah,
put them
that's
in a
it.
freaking ring
Right.
with each other.
Right.
It just so happens that now that we have two brands on the show, it's brand supremacy. If you want to
Right.
say it's not meaningless, of course it's not. No, it's not meaningless. There was a payoff. Which brand actually won the most?
I think the only thing
Not this year,
with
though.
this one,
I wouldn't
yeah,
say
I was
This
gonna
year
say,
they didn't really play. Yeah, they didn't really play up on the
yeah,
idea of brand.
exactly.
I mean, they
It
didn't,
was
and we know they didn't really play up on it, but it's just your interpretation. It's just like,
this one.
okay, it is
I
technically
agree.
still brand
I agree
supremacy.
with that.
Yeah,
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm not saying that to be divisive or to present a
Right.
counterpoint to play devil's advocate, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's up to the interpretation of the fan when they don't do stuff like that. But I don't think that they have to, especially for this. Like Survivor Series, realistically, has always been a feud where it's been like a mini reset into the Royal Rumble. Like new
yes,
feuds have come
Yeah.
out of the Survivor Series constantly
Yep.
over the years. Like, and I keep going back to like the idea of '94 as an example. Like, again, the Teamsters and the Bad Guys, Razor Ramon's team versus Shawn Michaels' team. He was finishing up his feud with Michaels and Diesel, and he transitioned to a feud with Jeff Jarrett, who was also on that team. So it's
Yep.
like they've literally used this somewhat as a transitionary pay per view to lead to the Royal Rumble. It just happens to be space in between the two pay per views. So it's
Right.
like to
right.
say like, oh, they need something to make the Survivor Series bigger or better. I don't think they do. I just think that they need to give it a core concept that stands out from the rest of the pay per views. And I think they've
Yes,
gotten away from
yes.
it in the past couple of years because you have two Survivor Series elimination matches, and you have a rest of these matches, which is a hodgepodge of guys from both brands who have no story with each other, and they're not feuding with each other. So it's new matchups, sure, but at the
Yeah.
same time, they're I get what he means by meaningless because it's like there's nothing there outside of the fact that they're on two brands. And it's like I don't feel like you can do that for every match on the card because it loses its luster. Like at
Right.
least with the Survivor
Yeah.
Series elimination concept, everybody is tied together because they're either A, feuding with each other, or B, on opposite teams. So they
Yeah.
have a reason
Right.
to
They
want
just
to win.
They just want their team to win. That's
Right.
it.
You just want your team to
You
win.
want
But
you want the quote unquote winner's purse, as you
right.
always should.
Yeah.
Right. I
Um,
think it's just given the history of the event, I think it's a little short-sighted to say, well, the matches are meaningless. They've always been meaningless. They're just guys wrestling. That's the
Yeah. That's it. That's literally
Right.
it. They're just wrestling. Nothing more. Nothing less.
Because like people have enjoyed the ones in the past. I was like, you didn't hate when there was no freaking storyline there to begin with. Like it's just been a continuation of feuds that ran throughout the entire year.
Stretch, you also have to remember it's a generational thing.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think that's fair
and
too.
you said it
Wrestling fan,
yourself.
yeah, it's a generational thing.
Fans nowadays are spoiled, and that's really
Yeah.
what it is. But once again,
And
we'll
I don't-
save all of this. We'll save all.
And
of
I don't think, and I just want to end on this. I don't think it's a bad standard to say that every match should have a meaning or a story in some way, shape, or form. But I don't think that this is the pay per view to die on that hill.
Yeah.
This is
If you
literally
had said
been
that, if you had said that for, let's say, a WrestleMania, you said
or
that for
SummerSlam
or
or Royal
SummerSlam or
Rumble,
Royal Rumble,
right?
then
I
all
think
right,
that's fair.
I can listen to that. But
yeah.
Survivor Series, it's
Survivor
literally
Series is not
it's
that pay per view.
All
It's
Star
not
Weekend.
that pay per view. It's All
just
Star.
that.
Exactly. I feel the same way.
Nothing more.
All Star
Excuse me.
Weekend where we can get the most talent on the card so they can
That's
showcase their stuff.
Right.
So would you still consider it a Big Four pay per view?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You
Yes.
get to see the most. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, because you get to see the most talent.
You get
Yeah.
to see
Or
the most
in one
talent. But
place.
will
I
I say that it's the weakest of the big four right now? Because historically they've gotten away from it and it's been weaker.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think it's
Okay.
the weakest of the four.
I think
It's
Money in the
literally
Bank
been
is
the
definitely
goddamn pal. All these people are in a feud together.
Yeah.
Why not put them
Yeah.
on opposite teams? It's
Right,
literally
right.
been that the entire history of the event.
Yeah.
So to make
Yeah,
that complaint to me is a moot point because it's
Yeah.
always been that way.
It's always been that way, right?
So real quick before we end the show, I would just like, this is going to end on a very somber note, so I apologize for that. But to my martial arts instructor, who just passed away a number of hours ago, I appreciate everything you've done for me. His name is George Creighton Jr. And honestly, as I was talking to a lot of people, a lot of my martial arts family today, without him, we wouldn't be who we are. I know my family wouldn't be who we are without him. So please rest in power, and we're gonna miss you. So with that being said, gentlemen, let's close it out.
Well, you know where to find me on Instagram and Twitter. You'll see it right down there on the left-hand corner. Thank you. Jador Sapio is the Instagram. Jador Stretch is the Twitter. In contrast, to my comments last week, please follow me, please. I crave the attention. Please follow me. I need it. Please make sure you hit follow on both of those social media sites. Please,
You might have to change your profile picture with you with that sweater, bro.
please stop hating.
I'm
Hating
not.
on a red sweater.
I'm legitimately not hating. I'm just saying that
This
maybe
is
you should.
this was for Team Raw, who, by the way, I didn't even realize this until I looked at the results. Outside of
won.
one match, had a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
again,
Out of one match,
all
was a clean sweep. So,
literally, like if
yeah,
you had to
Roman
go
Reigns
by,
was the only SmackDown talent that won during the Survivor Series. So I wore a red sweater for Team Raw, believe it or not, and I was right.
Mine. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Mine is in the car. I got both of them in the car.
I should have got both of them though.
at least y'all
Yeah.
got. I wish I was able to pick one up. I need one.
Dude, I tried to grab
It's
some
okay.
more, and they were like, "Nah, you good." I was like, "Damn."
Yeah.
By the way, I appreciate y'all in the comments. I appreciate it. Thank you. Next.
So again, you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, the same name. That's how it's spelled. It's spelled correctly, Forever Thiefin. Like I said, send a follow. I write, I do funny thing, I talk about mental health, write funny shit in the stories. Just I give all my love to everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for rocking with us.
Yes.
Again, by the time this is out, still wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day.
Yes.
Be with
Yes.
your family if you're able to be with your family. For those that that don't have any, that probably have lost ones around this holidays, we're all thinking of you. You already know love and light. I send it today. Send it to all of you guys. Same here. It's the same type of thing going on with me. And that's about that. Just thank you. That's all. Just grateful. Thank you, everybody.
Oh wait, time out. Real quick. Jesse got yours, bruh. You're good.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
I just read it.
That was even worse. And that's why
Yes,
that's what,
yes,
bro.
yes. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Make sure you eat your turkey. My job's giving away tofu turkey, and I told them niggas put some seasoning on that shit. Don't feed me no tofu turkey.
They have tofu turkey.
But
Is that a thing?
Yes,
we all
Never heard of
broke
that.
our necks when they said they're giving us tofu
People-
turkey for
Oh, so that's a
People
thing.
Thanksgiving. I said,
legitimately
huh?
call it tofurkey. I'm not even lying to you.
Never heard of
Okay.
that before.
I swear to you.
Well, I will be bringing my homemade seasoning, and I am seasoning that bitch up because I know that's gonna taste disgusting. But on a lighter note, thank you all for rocking with us. As my brother QS has said, my name is Striker Dragoon. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. I stream very much so occasionally, but when you see me, you see me. When you don't, you don't. Just ask. Maybe I'll stream. Maybe I won't.
Wow. That sounds like stretch. You can follow me, man. Maybe you won't. And as always, nothing of mine changes. Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Marvel 87. I've been a lot more active, so come through, check it out, talk to us. As always, you can follow the Four Corners of Commentary on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok at the Council of Commentary. Also on Twitter, we are at CO Commentary. And as always, you can follow and listen to us on all of your listening, streaming platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, and so much more. All you have to do is Google Four Corners of Commentary. You will see lots of purple in the ring. Beautiful logo, I might add. And as
Shout out to the
always,
designer.
your word. As always, we always appreciate y'all. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, put that notification bell on, do all
Not
of
in
that
this lifetime,
jazz.
Jesse.
Put Oh, and as always, just make sure you acknowledge Tribal Chief. As
All
always,
right, I'm out of here.
as you should.
Ladies
Ladies and
and
gentlemen, this has been another episode. We really appreciate it. Tune in for next week. We got a lot of things coming up. We are the Four Corners of Commentary, and we are out.